Hi and welcome to this video. So you may be struggling with writing a decent brass fanfare. You may have problems with the music theory, or you are not the most versatile piano or keyboard player. Let's come up with a cool method on how to get a decent brass fanfare done. Let's go. Okay, so for this example I have loaded Caspian, the French horns by Performance Samples. So I just want to get some basic rhythm done, and to focus on this I will just record one note only. So let's go. So this will be our fanfare here. Let's just make sure to quantize this. Okay, so that looks pretty decent. Okay, so now let's focus on the main melody, and I wanted to come up with something like this. So maybe just let's get rid of this one here. So the melody may be the first thing you have in mind, you hear in your head. And what you want to come up next are the chords. So let's play along. And I had in mind something like this. I mean, of course, you can do this in all kinds of variations, but let's keep it simple for now by just picking A minor and F and G. So what I simply do now is create kind of pedal notes. So we have A, so I'm just doing this for the first two bars because we're in A here, and it sounds like this now. We're still in A here. And then we change to F. Then to G. And then to A again. So this sounds... Let's use this one too. So it sounds a little bit rudimentary, but you get the idea already. Okay, so the next thing would be to fill up, let's say, the voicings of the F and the G here, just to have some more sound information available. So I would love to go with fifth here. So we just copy that over, and C would be the fifth of the F chord. D would be the fifth of the G chord, and here it would be E. So the whole thing sounds like this. Oops, I forgot one. So I already kind of like this rub going on here when going down from the F to the D and then staying on the C here. So the next thing I want to do is load up two more instances of contact to have the trumpets and the trombones. So let's just load up these. Okay, let's rename these here. Trombones. Trumpets. So let's also sort this. I also like the lowest instrument on top. Don't ask me why. This is just the way I work. Okay, so now we would get into the actual arrangement. And what I'm doing right now is just copying that part over and just highlighting the trombones here. Let's set this to solo and just get rid of everything except the bass notes. And just copy down for a second here. Okay, so let's listen how this sounds together. We're getting somewhere. So now let's grab the MIDI notes from the French horns channel and just move it over to the trumpets. Let's move this up an octave. Let's get rid of the lower notes here. So let's see how this sounds. Okay, so now I have my basic arrangement, and I definitely want to have the trumpets play this main melody, and of course have the trombones to play the bass notes, but I just want to, let's say, open up the French horns a little bit more. So let's just fool around. Okay, that sounds pretty decent so far. Let's just fool around a little bit more with the trombones here. Okay, so I actually like this little rub here going on with the E and the D. And then also the C up here. I mean, of course, this is totally up to you if you like something. I personally like all these rub thingies going on. What is also very important to understand that the actual arrangement is still a little bit, you know, stiff and sterile. So we just want to make sure to have some proper automation going on. So let's just listen to the trombones here and let's paint some CC1. Can we also do the same for the French horns? And for the trumpets. Okay, so let's humanize this whole thing. So I'm just selecting all notes here. And then I simply pick humanize, and we probably make it like something like 30. Just hit OK. So how does this sound? Okay, so last but not least, let's hop over to the mixer here. Let's highlight these 3 channels and say add bus for selected channels. Now we just rename this to brass, and let's use some cinematic rooms on this one here. And let's use the Philharmonic stage for this. Okay, so the next thing we could do is load up some EQ on each of these tracks here and clean up the instruments a little bit. I mean, these samples are very well recorded, but let's just create some more space. So I would just listen to the trombones here. And let's get a little bit rid of 500 hertz, which is because I want to have the horns shine at this frequency. Let's pick the horns. And let's get rid of a lot of low notes here. Flow noise and everything, because I want to leave this to the trombones. And also let's get a little bit rid of the higher frequencies here, because I want to leave these for the trumpets. Oh, we don't need this bump here. Next up would be the trumpets. I just want to get rid a little bit of that 2K here because I find it a little bit too much. So let's listen to how this sounds. Turn the reverbs off. And on again. I mean, you have to decide. We necessarily don't need it, but you can create a little bit of more space, especially when I just come up and do a little bit of mastering here. It makes a little bit more sense, of course, when you have more instruments, when you have a full track, but the concept is very cool to clean up some frequencies for other instruments. So if you have a full string section going on, if you have all the percussions going on, for example, also a choir, it makes a lot of sense to clean up that entire mix, because later on when you're mastering your track, I mean, I was just not really mastering, I was just raising the limiter a little bit, but when you later on master your track, you want to have a clean up mix. So you don't want to have any floor noise of high strings of trumpets and so on, because this is also disturbing the instruments, let's say the gran cassa or the trombones, from the lower spectrum. So one final thing we could do is set up an additional EQ on the bus here. Okay, so for now I think this sounds pretty okay. Okay, so that's it for now. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions on what you want to see next, let me know in the comment section below. Also, like always, thank you so much for checking out my videos. I would really appreciate if you follow my channel just in case if you didn't already, and hope to see you on the next video. Bye.